Elon Musk has taken control of Twitter in a $44 billion acquisition. There's already been a management shakeup within the company. After the deal closed, Musk fired 3 of Twitter's top executives. The takeover has left users, advertisers, and employees in the dark about Elon Musk's intentions. The deal means Twitter is now a private company, and everyday investors will no longer be able to buy shares. The New York Stock Exchange suspended trading in the company's stock Friday. Those shares will be delisted on November 8th. Kaylee Hayes joins us. She's a senior tech reporter with Business Insider. Kaylee has been following the Twitter story from the very beginning. With the firing of these top executives, is this just the beginning of the Twitter shakeup?
I would say so, yes, Catherine. He has definitely been gunning for the executives specifically for some time. They were not getting along pretty much all throughout this deal process. But there are almost certainly going to be layoffs of, rank and file staff. He's going to go about reorganizing the company probably in relatively short order.
So that's on the management side. Let's talk about the policy side. Do we have any insight into what his policy is going to be on banned users?
I'm not sure. He said publicly before that he doesn't really believe in permanent bans, lifetime bans, et cetera. So there's a handful of people in there, including former President Trump. He, though, lately has seemed to be attempting to walk back a little bit some of the things that he said publicly about content moderation and, free speech, et cetera. He said just yesterday, in a note definitely targeted towards advertisers that he did not want the platform to be a free-for-all hellscape. So he knows that Twitter is a business. He knows that that business is based on advertising. He knows that advertisers like to feel brand safety or at least have some element of that on a given platform. So it remains to be seen exactly what his policy will be, but probably some people will be coming back.
Yeah, he put out a tweet late today saying that those found or barred with minor or dubious offenses would be freed from what he called Twitter jail. So just to take that a step further, within hours of acquiring Twitter, there's been a reported explosion in hate speech on the platform. So how does he respond?
I think he probably doesn't respond. Honestly, okay. Musk seems to be one of the executives that lets things play out sometimes. He responds to things sometimes, and a lot of the times he doesn't, or he'll turn it into a joke and it kind of diffuses itself from there. But he hasn't changed Twitter at all. Twitter is literally the same as it was yesterday, today. So this is the way the platform operates. People can push the boundaries, and if they're caught by the AI that mostly does the content moderation, then they're caught. But a lot of the content that is problematic is not caught by the AI as Twitter exists right now. So this is not really Musk's Twitter, it's Twitter.
Okay. How quickly will Elon Musk move to a fee-based or ad-based service?
I think he's probably going to do it in 2 parts. I think there will probably always be a free Twitter, but Twitter right now has a subscription offering. It's called Twitter Blue. It's just not very popular. So he will likely experiment further with that and try and get it to be more enticing to people to pay for it, have more products, have more features that people would need to pay for to receive. But I think there would always be a free part. But Musk is somebody who says things, makes pronouncements, demands things that his employees then have to kind of scramble to create. So there will probably be a lot of experimentation.
Let's talk about the timing. This acquisition is happening in the final days of the campaigns. What do you think the impact is?
I'm not sure. I mean, there has definitely already been, from my just basic user experience anyways, an increase in misinformation, people being unable to tell what is true and what is not. But again, that isn't really Musk's Twitter. I think that is just part and parcel to the political climate that we're in. It will probably be an issue. I mean, it could be a huge impact if, let's say, Donald Trump comes back to the platform right before the midterms. But again, I mean, Twitter was never a utopia before. It's been a messy place, a chaotic place, a place where people get excited and say a lot of things. So it will have probably the same effect that it would normally have had.
I just want to pick up on something you said there, because you've been covering this really from the very beginning. So you feel pretty confident that former President Trump will get back on the platform before the midterms?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's like 50-50, like anything. It definitely could happen. There are persistent rumors that it will happen, but Musk has said literally nothing. He said nothing to staff. He said nothing publicly outside of what he's tweeted. So I'm not sure that it would happen. I think it would be a big issue for advertisers if that did happen. I think that would send a signal to them that Musk was going to do some things that they did not like. And I think Musk has realized over the past several months that in order to run this business, you kind of have to deal with advertisers in a way that they want to be dealt with.
Kelly Hayes, thank you.
Thank you.